I got blinded from the right side. I was driving along Cayuga Lake. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and I just get blinded. And I thought, there's a lot of houses along the lake, and I thought it was someone coming up, and that their high beams were on, and they were catching me right in the eye. And I'm kind of like, oh my God, that's so bright, stop. And as I continue driving, it continues just hitting me in the eyes, and I'm like, what? How is that still hitting? This car still getting me? And I kind of squint through it, and there's this giant ball of light. It's not a ball, like a long object. I couldn't actually see an object, and this is important. What I saw was lights. And there were lights on the top, and there were lights below it. And there were lights shooting from the left to the right. And they would disappear as if they were going all the way around it. But they were all moving at different speeds, so they were almost like racing each other. And they were all in different primary colors. And I think the lights on top and bottom were kind of white. And I saw this, and I'm like, what am I looking at? And so I pulled over to the side of the road, and I watched this thing, and I listened, and I tried to pick up anything else going on in the area at the time, and there was nothing. So I watched it, and after a few minutes, it just slowly started descending, and it moved behind the tree line, and I assume into the lake. I couldn't see the lake from the perspective I was at, but I could see the trees going all the way down to the lake. So whatever it was very large, because it was very large in my view, and it was quite a distance away based on the trees it moved in front of. I have no idea what that was. There's a lot more out there that we don't know than we do know, I suspect. No, I'm fairly certain. It's not even just a suspicion. So when you say, like, why are people drawn to mystery? I think it's because we need that greater thing. That greater, that thing that is greater than us, greater than our knowledge. And if there's something we don't know, that is definitely greater than our knowledge. And it kind of drives us forward, and it gives us hope, and it gives us, I mean, it's not even hope in a specific thing. It just kind of like hope for something new, hope for expansion, for growth, things like that. And that's especially with the paranormal. I think that's what you get when you investigate these mysteries honestly. I think you're looking at stuff that is meant to drive us forwards. It's stuff that is meant to enlighten us, to kind of like a shamanic journey. It's taking different faces, especially for the people having the experiences. When it comes to someone telling me a story, I would rather believe someone who is lying to me than not believe someone who is telling the truth. And the reason being is the people who have the real experiences, they need to talk about it. They need to process that. And if you don't believe them, you're doing damage, whether you realize it or not, or whether you care or not. So my take on it is I will always, unless there's some really blatant red flags, I will assume that someone is telling me the truth. Now that's more of on a personal level. Most of these people are not looking to make money or become famous, or may not even want their identities known. They're just relaying this weird thing that happened to them. I do like the idea that this stuff is on a different wavelength. It's not interdimensional. It's actually here with us, and it's on a completely different wavelength that we normally can't perceive. That being the case, we just don't know it's there. Plus, combine that with the way that our brain filters out much of reality, and you don't have you don't have to have a big interdimensional concept to say that there's stuff right in this room with me that I can't perceive, and maybe it can't perceive me because it's simply at a different wavelength of existence.